Hello friends, today we are going to talk about elicitation. So the elicitation is a process where we retrieve the information from our stakeholder, and it is very critical task for a BA, and I would say it's the most important task for BA to retrieve the information for the project that he is running currently. So elicitation comes first. So we're going to talk about elicitation. So what is the meaning of elicitation? Well, according to Bebok 2.0, elicitation means you're trying to retrieve the information from your stakeholders. So what kind of techniques that you're going to use, how you're going to uh, document it, how you're going to confirm it from the stakeholders. So elicitation means retrieving the potential information or response from your stakeholders. Process of elicitation. There are four activities that involves in process of elicitation. First, you have to prepare for elicitation, then you have to conduct the elicitation, then you have to document it and confirm it from your stakeholders. So these are the four process that is going to be very critical for your complete elicitation activity. So first is preparation of elicitation. So in the preparation of elicitation, you're just trying to prepare what you're going to retrieve and what kind of information you're going to retrieve, what kind of material you required, and everything. So you can use different techniques like brainstorming, document analysis. Like if your process has SOPs or other documents, flowcharts, you can retrieve that information. Interface analysis, what kind of techniques that you're going to use, that would be in the preparation of elicitation, or you need to prepare for survey questionnaires, or you just need to sit and observe the process. So these are the techniques that you can use while preparing for elicitations. You can also have brainstorming. You can bring a group of the people and discuss about the problems, get out the get all the information that you required. So this is the first process in preparation of elicitation. Second, you have to conduct the elicitation activities. You have to route the purpose. You have to meet with your stakeholders. You have to go and meet the stakeholders. If there are process, you have to meet with the directors and managers, and you need to conduct the elicitation. You need to pull out all the information whatever you require. For that, you can do the same thing, like you can brainstorming focus, you can go and read the SOPs, and you can sit with the people who are working on the process. You can retrieve the information or simply can observe the people. So you have to conduct the elicitation activity first. In the first process you were uh, preparing for elicitation. Second would be conducting the elicitation. So you are conducting elicitation, you are trying to retrieve all the information which is required for your project. So there are multiple stakeholders while you conducting the elicitations. So customers, if you are working on some customer oriented process, then the customer would be the uh, last customer would be the stakeholder to retrieve the information. Domain SMEs, if there are process running, so there would be some people, particular people who are expert in that process, so they will provide you the informations. End users, the people who are using the product at the end, suppliers and sponsors. And there is implementation SMEs, operational support. So if you have any operation running in the support that provide people who are providing the support, you can reach out to them. Project manager, the head of the project, uh, you can also retrieve the information from him. Uh, and the tester, whoever is going to test your project or whoever is going to work on your project. I mean, Once you implement the project, or you are running test everything, then that person would be the your stakeholder, and then regulator. So regulator comes in when you have uh, if you're working in a financial industry, there are some, if you have cross border transactions. So cross border transactions, there are regulators in different regions. There are banks, there are central banks, there are multiple stock exchanges. Then they have their own rules and regulations. So a different country has different rules and regulations. Like US will have different rules and regulations, and European Union would have different rules and regulations. APAC, like Australia, New Zealand, would have different rules and regulations. So whatever the project that you have, which region it is going to impact, you have to take the consideration of regulatory environment of that particular region. So suppose if you are implementing a project which is going to be impacted in, which will have impact on northeast, not northeast, it would be like European Union, Middle East. So you have to take you have to take all the necessary regulatory consideration while preparing the project. So it should not, breach any regulations or something like that. So you have to keep that in mind. Regulatory feature is very, very important, because you have to keep that in the center. You have to be very careful when you are doing some project. Third is document elicitation results. So once you have, you are in the process of conducting your elicitation, the third step comes in, like, you have to document all those elicitations. You can have notepad, you can have visual or audio recording or anything. I mean, you can note it down in a paper or anything. You can just have to have those documented. You can have minutes of meeting. You can have whiteboards or anything like that. So whatever you have, you need to just document it. And you, while eliciting information, you have to just pull out whatever all the concerns of stakeholders. You have to understand what are the risks, assumptions, constraints, and other relevant information that you have to retrieve. So while preparing, then while documenting all those things, you have to take everything into consideration. Suppose if you're retrieving information from SME, he will give you all the information, plus he will give you his concerns and his constraints. I mean, he will tell you where the project or process lacks, what are the constraints, and he will give you possible solutions as well. So you have to take all those things into consideration, but you have to limit all these things. You take as much as you can, but at the later stage, you have to use the information that is required for your project only. So you take as much information as possible from the stakeholders, from the end users, and you need to document them. Fourth is confirm elicitation results. So once you have documented all those things, you need to go back to the stakeholders and validate them. So if you have written something, if you have documented something, you just have to go and to the stakeholders and get it confirmed, because you don't want to make any assumptions into it. Whatever the statements that you written, or whatever problem you have understood, you just need to make it confirmed from the stakeholders, and it should match with the stakeholders understanding. So as the statement says, that validate that the stated requirement expressed by the stakeholder match the stakeholders understanding of the problem and the stakeholders needs. So whatever information that you have taken, it just matches with the stakeholders understanding and stakeholders needs. So once you have, I mean, second statement like says any stakeholder who has participated in other elicitation task may participate in this task. So if you're taking information from some like managing director, from SMEs, so you can simply go ahead, take those documents and confirm it. I mean, you can email them and you can just ask them to read out all the document that you have prepared, elicitation documents, so that they will, confirm it. So you are just trying to make it clear that whatever you have taken is completely right, correct. So you are not making any assumption. So these are the 4 tasks which involved in elicitations, guys. So good luck. Thank you very much for watching this video, and do subscribe to my channel. Have a great day. Bye bye.